Are you ready for the meeting, Margie?
I hope so.
I was looking over the curriculum for our fourth year for the SSA, and everything looks great as usual. And so I'm really excited about another year of SSA here at Buck Lodge. More importantly, again, we're starting to notice that with minority kids, there is a greater gap with kids going into science. And so with our focus this year, I would really just appreciate the fact that we're here, we're moving forward, and that we'll continue to impact the lives of minority students in the science program.
But there's no doubt that they can compete with the best, and we appreciate the opportunity to explore that here at Buck Lodge.
We also been given another challenge, and I don't know if you were aware, this year we were issued, or we will be issued, iPads throughout the building. And one of the things that we're challenged with is integrating this new technology on a one-to-one basis. And we've actually been challenged with possibly taking the lead on this initiative in Prince George's County Schools. So what I want to do is I want to give your students the opportunity this summer to actually work with the iPads and see how you could possibly integrate it into your program. What do you think about that?
I'm excited, and it's wonderful how we just keep finding resources for this program. So that's pretty cool.
I see some hesitancy.
Well, just computers and tech, and as a medical doctor, I can tell you we have the same thing there too. We have all this technology, and it certainly does make life a lot better and easier. But it's not the answer to everything. There's more that's required, and as you and I have been talking about this brain freeze problem,
that's right.
That it's easy to get overwhelmed, and so. No, we'll accept the challenge. I really look forward to exploring that and giving you feedback on what your students are finding in science education. And at the same time, I'm going to ask Margie to pay extra special attention to understand what we need to understand to do it responsibly and to make it work.
Right. And I'm glad you actually mentioned the brain freeze article that you shared with me and how students are possibly going into this overload type of situation where they're getting too much information. And that is one of the concerns, but at the same time, I think that the technology we've been provided is a great tool that can be used with instruction. And so we just want to make sure that we're balancing it correctly, and I think that this is a good way to get some data back to see and make sure that we're doing everything responsibly and correctly with this program that we're going to be implementing in the fall. So,
well, I'm nervous about it in medicine, and I'm nervous about it in education, and we'll get you the best answers we can get.
Excellent. I look forward to the challenge.
Before you go, can I ask you couple quick questions?
Sure.
Okay. Have you heard of anything, something like brain freeze?
Yeah, you mean like how your head hurts if you eat ice cream real fast?
Well, not exactly, but when there's too much information presented to you really quick, and does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, a lot of times. Like when I came to this country, my English wasn't that good, and I couldn't understand the English that the American kids were speaking. But now I think I'm okay.
Okay, so you said American English. It's too fast. Okay. So when you're in the computer or you're using
I'm ready
technologies,
for the good news. What's the story for SSA next week?
I think we're ready. And week 1, they're good to go. It's all about force and space. That's ready. For week 2 program, our theme for that week is life in space, and that's good to go as well. And I'm working on with week 3, which is the theme is the health in space, and I'm trying to contact some speakers for that week as well. So we're good to go.
Well, I appreciate that. And at the same time, about this brain freeze problem, what do you think about that?
Well, it certainly could be. When I talk with the students, they certainly know about it. many of the students have friends who suffer from brain freeze symptoms, and some are already suffering from brain freeze themselves.
Well, what kind of symptoms?
Well, the main problem seems to be that too much information coming at them with too little structure, and that to help them make sense of it all. But for some of them, it is worse. They literally become lost in some of the video games for many hours at a time. And others seems to kind of lost touch with reality because that start to believe that their decisions in life do not have any lasting consequences, like in the video games. Brain freeze also seems to sit in whenever students get into non-productive arguments with one another. Brain freeze is definitely real, and it could be a real problem for us, especially with more edtech. But I think that we can handle the brain freeze challenge in SSA by providing each student with a motivation to explore body health in the real life that we all share together this summer. The same goes for helping them to experience how their minds really work in real life from a scientific perspective, and also for the real life science of emotional health, and also the real life experience of social network health. Ultimately, SSA is also about learning the scientific tools for staying healthy in nature.
Well, I like the way you said that, because I'm learning the same thing. I think that these 5 easy to describe scientific dimensions of health have to come together. They have to come integrated for a healthy human being. And health is really lost anytime any one of these 5 somehow falls apart. And I guess my concern is about this educational technology. Do you think that's going to get in the way of the health message of SSA?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I have some good ideas that how can that work.
We are on our way to the Navy Medical Center.
So these 3 students going to take 2, right?
Mm-hmm, yep, and we're doing like a road trip to test out the same path, so we will know. And then hopefully the kids will be able to direct us. Navigate. Mm-hmm. We're going to check out different things and find answers to our questions before we take our students to the trip.
Location. What is the first thing we want the children to grasp when we get into a new location? It's the first thing.
Tarzan, Jane.
We're ready. Okay, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Whoa!
Hi, my name is Alan, and this is first week. On the first week, we launched rockets.
3, 2, 1, lift off. Oh!
I'm just gonna grab some imaginary fins. Some fins. Then these are the tail fins. They keep the rocket in the direction you want it. So if the spin's out of here and there's only one fin, it's gonna go spinning around in all directions.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
this rocket. Okay, so let's start with the first one, the nose cone. Okay, this one here, okay, this is the nose cone. Okay, you can touch it. Made of plastic.
Here's the big guys.
Got it. And that's the world. And what we do,
Our whole universe is right there.
that's the whole universe right there.
Okay?
And so what we do as scientists, I see you guys have been very much involved in this, we try to take it apart, don't we? And you can actually get, Nobel Prize if you can take the world and a little piece of it, and you can measure that. And you might take other pieces of it and you can measure that and say, oh, there's two pieces that are actually other than. And then other Nobel Prize laureates, they say, oh, and it's come together in a certain way and then it goes apart in another certain way. And sometimes it's like this and sometimes it's like this. And for each way that we try to measure and pull apart, something is always the same about this cosmos, this universe, this world, this way of being. And if you look at this, as scientists, there's something that seems to hold this together.
Okay, students, in a second we're going to show you, Steve and I, we're going to show you how to set up your modules. But if you think to yourself that you can do it on your own, it's impossible.
It's not so impossible.
The way that we're going to use them in SSA, they might be rocket ships, or spaceships, or shuttles.
Imagination.
Or
that's what I said.
Or they could be used for camping.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to come by and say welcome to the 4th year SSA here at Buck Lodge. Students, guess what? We got a great program planned for you this year, and you're going to go to places where you haven't been before. You're going to take Buck Lodge to a whole nother level, and the information that is prepared for you is just out of this world. But the key to everything that we've seen and when we were reviewing the curriculum is you have to work together.
In unanimous decision, any person controls the outcome of this. You're going to have a dime and a penny.
Yeah.
A dime. When you cast your vote here, when you put your dime, when you put the dime in the pot, then that means you're in support of the decision. When you put your penny in the pot, it means that you are against it. If we have one penny in the pot, then it's not going to go. Come on, Chris.
Don't go.
No, Team
If we don't take the trip to the Hindu temple, we're not going to go. Okay, so we have a lot to do today.
And we have to break down evidence.
We have to break down the body. So, once again, okay, are you ready to vote?
Yes.
Let's do it. A dime means we're doing separate teams. Okay, there's a penny in there, so we're not doing separate teams, okay?
So what's going on inside?
The students are having an issue of the power of unanimity, but they really need to figure it out. They're playing about this tool, the power of unanimity, but they need to figure it out. Make a fork, and then to go to the beltway.
Oh.
And then Farina said to make a right.
I was wrong. That's okay. It's a learning process here. I'm happy that we made it here somehow because we messed up on the way here. I mean, I messed up on the way here. And I hope we make it with Barhazy without any mistakes.
Oh my goodness. A little tentative there.
We have everything on
A
tape.
little random there.
Put your face together. Better get it right. It's a long ride. Better hit yourself. Put your face together. Better stand up straight. It's a long ride. Only one last chance. Could it get much better? Do you want to dance? It's a long ride. Better pinch yourself. Get your face together. Better stand up straight. Boy, we can do much more together. Say, get alive, get alive, get alive, get alive. Boy, we can do much more together. Better get alive, get alive, get alive, get alive. Boy, we can do much more together. Better get it right, get it right, get it right, get it right. Boy, we can do much more together. It's not so impossible. It's not so impossible. It's not so impossible.
And the pumpkin. Look at
I
that
know that
Pumpkins is
pumpkin.
amazing.
That one pumpkin.
But that guy just is the guy.
Is the yellow what the plant needs, or like the yellow sunlight, the yellow light that you see in the middle of that? Is that what the plant needs? Is that the spectrum of light?
That is actually, that's the right, it's the spectrum. Okay, so this is visible light, and these colors correspond to, my name is Dave Fletcher. I'm an agricultural engineer with the USDA, the Department of Agriculture, the Agricultural Research Service. Good.
Do you want to go see our garden?
I do. That was an easy question. Maybe what I would do is definitely water, not directly on the plant, but just water all around it.
Delight, where are you?
We are at USDA where they do where they take our plants and see how they can the plants that they can send to space, so they can grow plants in space and
Hydroponics, and we're now in building 52 with Dr. He's Dr. Dennis Tinman.
And I'm looking, that almost looks like a nitrogen stress thing.
Oh.
And a little bit also, it could be a problem too, is that you see there's
Getting dry?
drainage here. Oh, you got
Yes,
but
we poke them.
they do get kind of wet on the bottom, and it depends. It could be kind of wet too for them. Sometimes with
Can we look at the board, because
You can ask
the
again in
COH
five-
isn't
you can
supposed
ask
to
again.
connect with the double bond.
Yes,
It is. That's a miss. Wait, I forgot. See, that's the
What's going on inside?
It's not good. You know, they have a choice. They can either use the dialogue tools or they can continue to argue the way they're going. And I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but we'll see.
What I want to be in the future is an architect, and I signed up for this program because it talks a lot about body structure, so I can act like the body structure is a building, and I can get started on the structures of cells, such as a fat cell, a protein cell.
So it makes it easy for the person so they know where all this stuff goes.
Okay, that's 1 minute. You have 1 more minute more, guys.
Can you guys check this one and make sure if it's close? Yes. I want this one.
more about health, because week 3 is mainly my most important objective, because it has to do with health, and in the future I want to become a doctor.
We need help. It's an emergency.
I understand that you have an astronaut see high up in the belly a large brown colon. Can you locate the large brown colon, please?
Yes.
Over?
Yes, over.
Gallbladder underneath. See if you can see a green structure, a green gallbladder underneath.
Is it not? Is it that one? No, I think no. Yes.
Okay. Our scans show that the patient has 3 gallstones that are also encrypted. So the surgeon should reach in and feel the green gallbladder and see if he or she can feel those 3 gallstones. Excellent. Now the surgeon will need to take one rubber band and loop it as many times around the green gallbladder sac above the gallstone.
Right. Yep. So I hope you can see that you killed the patient.
Yeah,
So-
we sure did.
So the idea of mastering the anatomy.
Yesterday. The surgery was awesome. It was scary at first because you could actually see the real heart, and it doesn't look like that. So I don't know why people say it looks like that. But
The entire program, all the work that you've done, all the hard work, believe it or not, y'all are the only students that are still here. Did you know? And y'all have been working the hours that we have been working as adults in the building. Y'all been here more than I have actually this summer, and I know that y'all have been working very hard.
Five, 6, 7, 8.
Centigrade, we've got sustainable, we've got genetics, we've got DNA, we've got clock time, we've got the universe time, we've got cosmos, we've got it all right here. And there's something, a little fuzz, that holds it all together.
What is that? What is the fuzz?
It's love, brother.
When you disagree with them.
Be more specific. Add more.
Common sense with another person when y'all are disagreeing, so you can show that you were listening, you were actively listening, and then
active listening,
and then you mirror the person.
Okay, mirror. I'll accept that.
And then you give them the dismounting. You do the dismounting tools.
Okay,
which
you're
are
missing one thing.
You challenge the assumption.
Okay, now can you say it all in order now?
Okay, first you listen actively.
Okay.
Then you mirror the person.
Okay, that's repeating the claim of others.
And then you challenge the assumption.
Okay.
And then you dismount.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah, and don't forget ask and answer.
As a veteran teacher and also as someone who works for AFI, I see so much going on in such a compressed amount of time that students are learning so much about social skills, science. Well, let's put it this way. Under the veil of science, I guess it is, the umbrella of science, that's probably a better term. They're learning so much about the social, their everyday lives, their health, their welfare, their ability to collaborate with one another, and it's all centered around project-based learning, which they don't even know they're learning while they're learning. And to see the kids answer questions so immediately, and to behind those answers, which to me didn't seem rote, they seemed like they understood what they meant as well. They weren't memorizing, for example. Though there was memorization, I'm sure, involved somewhere along the line, they seem to understand how it applies, the applications of what they're learning.
We made a successful trip to our museum by using just paper and pencil without using technology. It was very fun working as a group, as a teamwork, learning from your mistakes and practicing to make it work better.
I never met a sandwich I don't like, so anything's fine.
second-generation dentist. I interact with the world, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. So coming here for the SSA program, the joy I have is to be invited in the first place, to be a part of touching that next generation for the sake of all the generations that came before and the ones yet to come, the ones we don't know. To be teacher in this way means a great deal to me.
I came here because it's fun to work and to talk to kids that have an interest in biological systems and have an interest in the scientific method. I gave a similar talk last year, and the kids were great last year too, but it did seem this year that the questions were a bit more focused, and there was more activity from the kids, and it was a very enjoyable experience for me to kind of talk to people that are interested in what we're doing with the Department of Agriculture and why it's important, and to see that excitement in younger minds about biological systems and how it affects them and their understanding of how we apply science to understanding how to improve plant growth and why it's important to us.
On my logo, the things under the word.
Oh, let me look. Yeah. Ooh, I see something over random. What does that mean?
Common sense over random means life's just not about guessing, you know. You have to actually know what you're doing. Commonwealth over rip-off is, which you rather have people that you'd rather not be ripped off than be ripped off. So you have to have common wealth to not be ripped off. And the common good. The common good is overrage.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
And we can publish. But much like Thich Nhat Hanh said, pick up the paper and see the forest, and see the clouds and see the sunshine. He's speaking to that same oneness, isn't he? And so when we say one and one don't make two, one and one make one, that one love, that without each other, ain't happening.
Would you be willing to be mentors for your sister or to other students that will be coming in for SSA next year?
That's funny because I never thought I was ever gonna be a mentor because I never really liked science. But now I understand it, and last night I had a dream about it.
Margie, do you remember a couple of weeks ago when you said that you might know how to prevent the brain freeze problem in science students? Were you right? What did you discover?
Yes, we were right. We discovered that in SSA, we used the EdTech tools to prevent brain freeze from our students. The surprise for me is just why things went so well. It happened in a way that I was not originally thinking.
Really? What do you mean?
Well, in the beginning, I was thinking that brain freeze was a problem to our students. And then I started to realize that our students actually have to be taught how to enter the brain freeze space because the adults around them allow this to happen to them. In that moment, I realized that every time brain freeze happens in a student, it is not really about the student. It's about the teachers. And this problem can be readily fixed. As soon as the teacher enters a space of super clear thinking, clear scientific thinking, where they get the proper scientific knowledge in the curriculum, organized into cool, accurate action steps, then the students always get it in ways that they really remember. Now, when I stop to think of it, one of the greatest gifts of the 21st century science, really the great health, is just a moment-to-moment integration of body health principles and healthy mind principles and emotional health principles and the social network principles. And we must always remain humble to the fact that nature always has the final say. If we do not master the tools for staying healthy in nature, she will simply squash us like a bug. Soon, what the outer space journey of SSA really teaches us is simply this. Just because any of us choose to not pay attention to nature, including the forces of nature that are inside our own bodies, that doesn't mean that nature is not watching us. And that is the direction that we are heading. Whenever we ask ourselves, our SSA students, to master the scientific tools of common sense, common good, and commonwealth together in order to grow their levels of health in outer space or here on Earth, this becomes a powerful inner space journey of science discovery as well. And this is a huge breakthrough in science education. When our students learn how to internalize the scientific lessons of great health for themselves, brain freeze literally disappears. One more thing about the challenges of America finding its way in the new global science knowledge economy
that same challenge that Principal Richardson keeps talking about, our SSA experience shows that our children really can compete at an international level in science, not just in remembering or reciting important scientific knowledge, but they are also able to act productively on that knowledge together. The energy savings alone of this advance to our whole nation is simply amazing. And this gift of science skills for our students all begins by first removing brain freeze from the minds of the SSA teaching staff, which is causing me to start to wonder about the next year's SSA question.
Next year's SSA question, what's that?
Well, I am wondering if the students can earn a living with their scientific skills.
Team SSA, what holds the world together? It's love, brother!